in session for checks and vouchers and any new business.
Ready, Tom?
Yep.
Tom, can you reach the empty container for me?
There we go.
Checks are in the bottom.
Thank you. You signed all these already?
Yes, sir.
still get through there. Pest control get laid.
Yep, yep.
He did that mile stretch too, I found out.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting to see how that works out.
I bet it worked out good.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Sure keeps the material in place, does a good job.
Signed that with you.
Yeah. I didn't mean
I
to grab
snagged,
it.
no, I snagged a paper clip here and I was trying,
That little paper
pulled it
clip-
off and I was trying to get it put back in place.
Paper clip is good for that.
There's a lot of them.
I'd have it all certified news.
That's it?
If I had all these bills like the county has.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Looks like this has been a good month for asphalt invoices and rock,
Yes,
and
it
rock
does.
invoices.
We've been road working.
There's three of them, there's at over 200,000 then.
Yeah. So this Reese Construction, is that
It's some guardrails and bridges. They're working on that. Good grief.
Southeast, was that full? Southwest, full? I think on Wolf Lane or something.
I see.
Wolf Road.
There's two of them.
I see.
I'm checking my stuff and their stuff. It's getting a little difficult anymore. The older I get.
The harder it is. I understand.
For sure. Is that it for that box?
That's it for that boat.
Serious?
Yeah.
We're moving.
They were all the normal,
That's the,
wasn't it? Had a normal.
most of that stuff's kinda cut and dried.
Yeah.
The road and bridge stuff, seems like.
Do you want these? They're just like arrow checks.
Sorry.
Probably as well as these.
Yep, those are the, jury. I just have them stacked up there. Didn't think
No other problem, it's just checks.
Somebody spend time looking for them, maybe if they didn't get there. So that's the end of this one, is it, Dawn?
Pardon me?
That's the end of this basket.
Yes.
This one's all good?
Yeah, I guess so. Unless you do that payroll,
No,
they get over on real time, switch went good.
I don't know. I don't think you guys are on real time yet, are you? You on real time?
We submitted our timesheet for the full month of July, and then I think this next one will be the real.
Be real.
I see.
Because we'll start August on July 23rd, and then
Right, okay.
we're getting closer.
Good.
That's not an issue, correct? It don't seem like it's gonna be an issue.
Not that I have heard. But you know.
Not as much an issue as a time clock. Just guessing.
As long as everything works okay. Be perfect. How often does everything work okay?
It's been working I've been able to clock in and out each day. There was one day where our internet was down just for a little bit when we went to clock out, but other than that.
It's been pretty good. Good.
Payroll stuff, so that's cut and dry as well.
Okay.
Sit in on one of them. I had a family contact me about that, it was at one of the schools. And their daughter come home just ecstatic over what was talked about during that. You ever heard of anybody that's been to one of those
To what, Jesse?
Happy Bear donation.
Happy Bear thing? I don't like
It
it.
ain't good.
I don't like it a bit, but I have not been to one. I wanna go to one, just to get, but we're sitting here spending $1,000 on this. From what I heard, it's not good in my eyes. But
I mean-
I visited with Wade a little bit about it.
How many employees go to it?
And it's just basically for kids.
Oh, for kid deal.
Yeah, but I just, yeah, I don't like it.
So I can have these.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
Or must be out watering.
You want to clarify?
Or water hose or what?
Faucet.
Oh, I see. Connected something up here in that.
Well, I hear we're gonna do a walkthrough Monday morning.
Yeah, that's what I seen on the schedule.
Yeah, I think they got a hold of Angie and said that they wanted to be right at 9.
We'll get to them when we get to them.
I'll trade you.
You what?
I'll trade you.
You want that?
Yep. Do that.
and start signing checks.
Still have the same boss, right?
Yes, still that same box. Morning, Wayne.
This where the party is?
Hey,
It's a live one. It's a lively party. Get your printer up and going.
How you doing, Wayne?
Think it's gonna take care of, what the needs are.
good.
Have you had the opportunity to sit in on the Happy Bear presentation yet?
No, but, I've been in contact with the person who, is responsible, and they said they are more than willing to come in and talk to the board about what the program's about, and answer any questions. So,
I would just like to go to a program sometime.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and invite them in, they can explain it, and then they can probably give you an idea of what their schedule is. I'd imagine they go in the fall and, do their presentations.
I mean, I just seen $1,000 going to the church for the program. I would like to sit in on one of them.
Put a contribution way here to the Happy Bear program. Is that young kids?
Yep, that's what Jesse was just asking.
Oh, that's what you just talked about?
Yep.
Okay.
It's apparently been going on long before I got here, and it's affiliated with,
Well, we probably signed checks. Got some before, I just don't recall.
yeah. The same contributions been made, each year, I think, outside of the COVID year when they couldn't go in and do it live.
Okay.
So help me out with this, Wade. And this is still on the $1,000. We're paying the Burlington Methodist Church $1,000.
They hold the money for that program.
They hold the money for the
Yes.
program.
That's why the money goes there. That's where it's always gone. So then however, the Happy Bear program sponsors, they pick it up from there, and that's where they, collect it from.
That's an additional.
Yes, I believe they was talking here to get it across the finish line, I think.
Correct.
Like 59, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I remember anyway, Tom. And I think if you look back in there, you can see their itemized
Correct.
computer stuff,
Yes.
and it's documented.
Yeah, saying all that,
It's a lot.
Yep. Well, again, when it comes down to the final stretch, if you will, and we've been told we're gonna be reimbursed, not exactly how we're gonna be reimbursed.
Yeah,
I've been on the mindset even at the, airport project. I mean, if it's really not gonna cost us much, then we can sell the land fairly reasonable, but
right.
if it's gonna cost us $10 million, then,
You gain a little fund out of the property sold.
yeah, we got, yeah.
I think they're prepared to pay something for that 8 acres, but I haven't seen anything. Numbers wise, but.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom, now it's that'd be kind of immaterial if we didn't have a bunch of extra expense.
Yeah.
It's, if you got $10,000 an acre, you don't go very far for
Infrastructure.
You don't wanna lose a deal because they don't wanna pay $10,000 an acre.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's only $80,000. That's a drop in the bucket compared to what?
Yeah.
Infrastructure.
Well, the only problem that concerns me is, it's being said that another entity may join them up north of that facility, maybe one more, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put all those things in place now? We're not tearing out something that's done?
Well, that was my thing about that road.
There we go. I'm gonna be out
Frontage
there,
road.
find out about August.
You go build it, you might as well just go ahead and build it from one end to the other and be done with it. That way it's set.
What they were kind of proposing, am I correct, that they, which would make obvious sense, curve that road to the east, so you don't wanna be intersecting right there close to
Right.
75 highway.
Right, you'd have to make a loop.
Yeah, get back there so you can, cause you'd wanna be backweighting that corner considerably to make that not be a bottleneck mess there.
Wait, here's a voucher to Western Consultants for $59,000. Going to the CHIPS fund, everything's good on that one.
I've not seen it, so.
I think that was the end of it, to get the final applications across the finish line.
That's GAS?
Mhm. I think they was down here telling us there was gonna be another 50,000, something like that, or 60,000 to get across, to finish everything up.
I think that's what that,
There's no statement there saying,
new contract that was signed was about.
Yes.
So all these tires to this wholesaler that it says bill the sheriff's department, Lewis Oil Company in parentheses, these tires are bought through Lewis's then, I'm guessing.
I would imagine, yeah.
Okay.
We signed a contract, Lewis, I think, was a little bidder on most all the tires this last time.
Okay, well, apparently we're paying directly to the supplier, so.
I haven't
Which is
signed
fine,
it.
I'm not questioning, I just.
You see the request I got in reference to the Happy Bear from, Amy Sides, Dr. Sides' wife, and it says, reaching out to request funding for the Happy Bear program for 22-23 school year. This year, we were able to do 23 presentations for preschool to second grade students in our Coffee County schools. Program also reached another proud milestone. First class of Happy Bear students are part of the class of 2023 high school graduates. Cannot wait for the next generation of kids to come through the program. This year, I'd like to request $1,000, the same amount as previous years, to cover the cost of maintaining and cleaning the bear costume, plus the cost of paying the presenters. If you are willing to continue the funding for this support program, please let me know as soon as you are able. Burlington United Methodist Church acts as our fiscal agent. Therefore, the check will be made payable to them to be directed to the Happy Bear program. And then there's also from, I can print off a letter where parents can opt out and a one-sheet piece of paper that describes what is Happy Bear. I can tell you from a prosecutorial perspective, having a program like that where somebody goes in and talks about good touch and bad touch with young kids is vital, so that if something happens and you hope it never does, that kids have the ability to understand and describe and understand what's good and bad touch and that type of thing. I think it shocks some people that those things get talked about with kids that age, but I'm gonna tell you, a large number of the kids that I deal with that are victims of sexual assault are that age. And if they don't have the ability to understand and talk and communicate, those acts may go unpunished, I guess is the best way to put it. And I get it. Some people think it's too much. Why are these things being talked about with their kids? But if they see how that operates and works in the courtroom, it's actually more of a benefit than it is anything else. The recent cases I've dealt with, the victims are between age 2, 3, up to age 5. And guess why those ages are picked? Guess why kids are picked? Because they don't have a voice, and a lot of times it's tough to verbalize and communicate what exactly happened, and then, it's a bad deal. So, kids, elderly, and animals. Those are sort of the triangle that I put a lot of focus on, because those are the most vulnerable in our society, and where those who want to commit those type of criminal acts where they focus, they don't do it to people who have a voice, who are going to get out and shout from the rooftop.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that, I wanna go to one to see what it's about. And
one of the letters, and I'll have this printed off, I can't do it from right here, but it encourages parents or anybody else to attend so they can watch and see what the program's about.
Is that one I have to sign?
This one?
Yep.
Yeah, to maybe give you a little more, another reference point.
So is that in all the schools in the county then, Wade?
My understanding is it's yes.
Okay.
And I think I'll invite the sides to come in and kind of do a presentation on what it's about so that not only the board, but whoever wants to see from on camera can listen and hear and see what it's about.
Okay.
So, Don, there was a contract that was retroactive to May 30th between Western Consultants and Coffee County, and it's tied to the CHIPS Act and the applications of the entities. And if you recall, the county, the agreement was for the county to provide funding for those services not to exceed $72,800. And it was, services will be billed at $130 an hour, not to exceed $72,800. And that was, I think, what.
I can remember, since you mentioned that, I can remember some discussion.
So my belief is it ties into that same timeline because it's dated June 1st to June 30th. And it's in that same time range, and it ties to the chip side of it, so.
And it's identified as a CHIPS.
So anything over 72,800, they have to come back to us for additional clearance from the board. Which, if I remember right, Jesse, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Jesse who said at that point, the county's done, tapped out.
Yeah, because it was to get the final deal, and I said everything, I mean, that was my opinion. Everything else is on the entities. We've been more than
Thank you.
more generous. Is that fair, Tom?
Well, am I correct that this grant that we're hoping comes through, that is applied for by those entities, that's not to us, correct?
Correct.
So we would have to seek being reimbursed.
Yes. We've received some funding from the state, a little bit, I think,
500,000.
pretty close to 5K, I think,
I see.
500K, so
Okay.
it makes our numbers look a little better than
Yeah.
They was in here.
Getting closer on the house rental.
Well, I talked to Bart yesterday, and I didn't mention anything, but, I think they're full on. I mean,
We
told
got a groundskeeper anyhow.
Yeah.
So,
poor groundskeeper.
it'd be nice to get it going and have somebody in there.
Yeah. One of the dang trees broke over. On a Sunday, one of the small trees. I don't know if a deer come through and grabbed a leaf or something and broke it, or some wind whipped up and broke it, or what.
We got a voucher here, sheriff signed off on it. 28 fire extinguishers, did those all go in the jail, or wonder where those went to? Or are they in vehicles?
I'd say probably 28 of them, probably vehicles, I would say.
Yeah, I would guess vehicles probably in their rotation, I imagine, when they carry them so long. I would guess.
I think my pen's about ready to quit. See that signature? It's starting to get lighter.
If they can come up with one for you.
Ooh, that's fine. Yeah. Probably won't make my signature any better.
On cramping.
Well, yeah, I got bad shoulders, it is. It's, 150 mile drive. So my wife and dog occupy the entire right-hand side of that vehicle.
You did all that
I
in one
can't
day,
really-
didn't you?
No. Not pulling a camper.
Didn't leave your awning out this time, did you, when you get out?
I caught a big old hailstorm, huh?
Did you? Did the heck out of your camper?
No. I looked all around the truck and camper, I didn't see anything.
Your vents up top are good?
Pardon me?
Your vent covers up top good?
Yeah. I was surprised.
That's what it gets a lot of times, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised.
Well, I decided to
That's the one I sat down and looked over and I didn't even sign it.
just scrutinize
I was wondering what it was. Exactly. Went through it. No.
Well, day before yesterday, I thought I was in a pretty big hurry and went up top on my big square baler and came down and my left foot missed the bottom step, and next thing I know, I was eating dirt on my right shoulder and tore my rotator cuff, so I'm walking around like this now until you gotta wait for our insurance to make sure that I really need an MRI before I can
Go get an MRI?
You're gonna have to have surgery on it.
I imagine, I mean, I can lift it a little bit, it's not quite as bad as when I tore my other one out 10 years ago. At least I tore up the bad one, this one wasn't too great anyhow.
I'm still refusing to have anything done to mine.
Well, I totally understand that. It is, I can vouch that it's a very painful surgery,
Yeah.
but mine was totally trash last time I couldn't use my arm, so. And if this gets better, I probably won't get work done either, but right now it's not very mobile.
And they said that rehab is a
Right.
rough thing to go through.
It is, but I tell you, I was committed. I mean, I wanted my arm back where it worked, but it'd make you want to throw up. I mean, seriously, make you want to throw up.
Wear extra absorbent.
I went in there the first day and I still had this t-shirt on that I had on when they operated on me. So we're going to take that shirt off. I'm like, you're what? You better have some scissors.
Exactly.
No, we're going to get it off of you. Well, she was right. But...
She did take it off.
Oh, wow.
They better tie my good arm down, that's all I can say.
It was ugly.
With chains on my ankles, everything, so I can't kick, bite, or swing.
My wife's first grandchild was due to be delivered by C-section a week after I scheduled the surgery. So she's like, well, that's fine, I can, you'd ought to be decent by then or whatever. Well, I get home from the surgery and that night they call, well, she's starting labor, so we're gonna go have the baby. So she's kind of like, sorry, honey.
Sorry, see you later.
Here's a cup of water. See you later. My daughter kept me alive, kept me watered.
Watered and fed.
And then she's in New York City with that same granddaughter now 10 years ago. I said, there's kind of a pattern here,
Yeah.
When you're on vacation for Emmeline, this is kind of dangerous for
Well,
me. Apparently.
you're unsupervised.
That's totally true.
You need to be supervised at all times.
I'm good by myself. That's pretty much it.
Here's a voucher that I don't recall. Contract date was 7/28/22 for a period beginning 7/28/2023, ending a year from now. Single sign-on for SSO monthly subscriptions, 12 months for $1,284 per prescription. Health Department. Of course, that would have been before our new,
$4 million come in.
department had come in, but an annual prescription, $1,200 for 12.
$12,000 subscription to
I don't remember nothing about it, but we evidently did it a year ago. On 7/28.
I've seen that too.
I'm sorry?
I've seen that as well, but there's.
I just wondered.
It's a subscription, it's not a prescription, it's subscription, right?
Yes.
It says a monthly subscription, so they're probably getting 12 months at each subscription. It's probably going to 12 people, or it's not identified. $1,284 per subscription, $15,000 altogether.
Was there some new software
So that's what I'm wondering if it's.
Some new software that they got.
Yep,
The
that's
sheriff's department has subscriptions to this, the treasurer, the clerk, everybody's got. So I assumed it was one of those myself.
This ties to if you remember, Carl came up when he was the department head, that Patagonia Health is some sort of computer system where they have
That's right.
all health records digital. And this is this is the invoice that also ties to that program, is what I recall, because I remember reading the
I
contract.
just don't
with Patagonia.
remember, I don't remember, Wade.
I know that's what,
Have we got, is there 12 employees involved in that?
I don't think it's 12 employees, it's 12 months, so that's the rate per month.
Okay, I understand, okay.
$1,200 a month.
$1,200 a month, for the 12 months is 15. I don't remember talking about it, but I don't remember all of it.
There's a contract that was signed and it got approved, and
Yeah, the
I'd have to go
contract's
back, I don't
in here.
have everything memorized, but I do remember Patagonia Health is the program. So you might request that Amelia or someone from the health department come up and maybe be able to give you a better explanation, because that's not that's all I know.
I don't remember.
I just know they gotta have a lot of things in place to do their job, and I assumed that was one of them, so.
With their records and stuff, you think?
Yeah, it's a record management system, which is what the original contract was for.
Yeah, that sounds like it was done there in 22, so.
It was done on July 25th of 22.
Is that what it is in the minutes of?
A year ago.
What's the call show on that?
It says, move
Casey?
to accept the contract agreement with Patagonia in the amount of $49,989.80 as a single source provider, and to authorize and direct the health department administrator to sign all related documents.
I couldn't hear your number, that was a little, 3,000?
It was $49,989.80.
See, that's 3 times what this is, vouchers for.
So that might have been to get them started, and this might be the yearly.
That was for the software and the software license and the agreement. Don, I think you have questions that can probably be answered if someone from the health department comes up and answers that, because they can tell you what that's for.
Yeah.
Because right now, there's
Is Amelia,
question marks.
is Amelia here, or did?
I can call her and see if she can come up real quick.
I remember now.
While you're sitting here waiting, just to fill you in, there was the HR meeting yesterday that I think went well. A lot of discussion. The majority or the bulk of the conversation centered around the difference between 8 to 5 employees and those who work irregular hours, including the sheriff's department staff and at times road bridge, and sort of having the language in the policy manual that reflects those departments have different schedules and irregular hours, and then what the law requires for emergency responders, for example, on comp time and different things like that. They're under a different canopy than what the courthouse would be. And then
She's gonna come up.
making some recommendations for for example, what a cap should be for 8 to 5 employee comp time, and a timeline in which that has to be used, so you can't just bank it and that kind of thing. So it was a good meeting. Hate that it's taken so long to get to that point, but I think instead of having the work product presented in front of the board and then it going in place and then finding out there's some blind spots, we're taking care of those blind spots ahead of time, so that once the final version is put in front of you. Hopefully, everything that, it's been vetted all the way across the board to meet what the needs of all the employees in the county, is the best way to describe it. So there will be revisions. Those revisions will then be resent out, looked at again to see if they pass muster. I think one more review by the department heads and elected officials before it makes it back to you should occur. Then at that point in time, it should be ready to go live with you guys and hopefully sign off. So it's been a long time coming, but
Everything here is a long time coming. Seems like.
It does.
But you're exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of times where it goes through fast and then a month later or 2 weeks later, you're coming back and amending it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it right first time.
measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
That's what I said yesterday. I was like, we're gonna adopt this once, let's get it right
Yeah.
and make sure it's right.
Yeah.
There'll still be some changes down the road.
I'm sure
There's no way to get
So we
away
just
from it.
will get it close.
you've gotta get as many eyes on that paperwork and on that to draw out what's creeping around the backside in the dark, that somebody might not see. Somebody else might see it,
Somebody's got a different angle that's
Right.
like that won't work for our department or whatever.
You felt it was a pretty positive meeting?
It was a positive meeting. Yeah, there was some changes, not want changes and so on and so forth, but I mean, you can understand, and I just wanted to listen, and I was for some of it, I wasn't for some of it, but it's not my choice, so, yeah.
Second thing is I was with the zoning and planning last night. They had a meeting. I left at 9:30. That's when all got done. But it was a good meeting. Covered. They've had some questions about when they can go into a closed session or not. They don't go into executive session because they don't fall under the canopy of an executive session. When they exercise their, what is called the quasi-judicial role, then they can go into a closed session for deliberations. So, for example, when they are reviewing as a review for decisions made by the zoning administrator, they're exercising their quasi-judicial function, which would allow them, if they need.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good, yourself?
Pretty good.
You guys have some questions about the
Yeah.
Patagonia?
Me, I have trouble getting your, I'm just gonna say, hey, you anymore.
That's fine.
Can't get your name out quite right. On invoice 2, Patagonian Health,
Yeah.
we
so-
evidently made an agreement back in July 28th, 22, and for some reason, and I know I don't remember everything, but I don't remember that. Can you explain the details on that, or I know this took place before you started,
Mhm.
this in July a year ago.
Yeah, so I went ahead and printed up the Patagonia sales agreement. So we have a total of 5 installments. So the initial one was $51,010.
Okay, that's what was in the minutes, in case he's
It was pretty close. I think it was 49.
50-something. Okay,
And then for the second year installment, so we just received the bill for it that had to be paid by the 31st, I believe, of this month. And that's for $15,412.80. And then next year, July,
Same thing,
it'll be $16,000.
16, okay,
And then fourth year, $16,000. Fifth year, $17,000.
okay,
And this covers for our single sign-on, our monthly subscription, and then, just like all the updates and all that. So we have this grant that is called, it's COVID ELC. And so once Cajuns, our grant reporting site, is up and going again, I will fill out a budget and maintenance report for it, and we will actually be reimbursed through that grant as long as it's approved for that $15,412.
That's 51,000,
$15,000.
or 15,000.
Mhm.
So it's a one-time 15,000 grant, or is it a yearly grant?
So this grant that I'm talking about is COVID ELC. So the funds for it, they were to expire at the end of this month, but they went ahead and extended it to July 15th of 2024. And we had that grant allocated for the governor's conference and some renovations within the health department. But I decided that we did not need those renovations at that time because, like, the way our clinic flow is now with Patagonia, it wouldn't benefit the health department for the time being. So we have to spend that money within a certain amount of time, and I don't know if I can get like an office layout of what would help us the best by July of 2024. So I went ahead and used Patagonia's second year payment, installment payment. I put it towards that instead because I knew that we were going to have to spend that money at that time, if that makes sense. Because I didn't want to lose that grant money.
Right.
Sure, we want to utilize it, yeah.
And, I mean, we have to have the EHR, because, I mean, we already paid $51,000 or $49,000 for it.
So is this a subscription that goes on year after year after year after year after year?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a $16,000, $17,000 a year
So
subscription?
I only have it up to the 5th year. I wasn't in on the signing of the agreement, so I don't know if it's going to continue for like 6th year, 7th year. But I do know that our monthly fees to have like the user accounts, I know that we'll have to continue to pay after the 5th year, but I don't know if like the installment payments are going to be that high after the 5th year.
Okay.
Are you getting a value out of it that was expected for the county?
The EHR, the
Yeah.
Patagonia charting system, yes. So we have kind of a lot going on with it right now. So with this EHR, we're going to be able to interface with Daisy, which is the site that we use to upload all of the patient documents to pull over to Cajuns for our grants. Because we have to keep numbers of like how many patients we've seen for immunizations, like breastfeeding moms, Edinburgh postnatal depression screening scales, all of that. So it's keeping us from having to, like, once these interfaces go live, it's keeping us from having to document in Daisy and then also document in the EHR. So we could just document in the EHR and then it'll pull all of that information over to Daisy. And then we're also getting an interface for Kansas Web IZ, which right now we're charting in Patagonia and then also charting in Kansas Web IZ. So once those interfaces go live, we have to do so many test patients. Once it goes live, like, we can just document all of that information in Patagonia and it'll pull to Kansas Web IZ or wherever it's needed, so we're not having to double document. And Kansas Web IZ is used with all health clinics because you have to track immunizations, and that will also be live data for our patients. And we also have one for LabCorp. So again, for LabCorp, all of the values will go over to Patagonia. So we're not having to wait for faxes, or it kind of cancels out the room for error for having to, if we miss a fax, it's just all going to go over to Patagonia. And that way, it'll be easier to send to other facilities. So I think we're getting our money's worth out of it. long story short. You guys have any other questions on it?
Thanks for your updates.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
And then also so with that grant, since, our next payment for year 3 for our installment, the $16,029.31, I went ahead and put that on with the COVID ELC grant as well, because we would still have access to those funds come July next year, but I just have to spend it by July 15th of next year, and we should have that invoice to be able to pay those funds.
Great.
So,
Great.
yeah.
Like you're utilizing it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Does that answer your question?
I think that answered everything we had, I think.
So the invoice is approved?
Yeah, if we can keep it in.
Invoice is approved.
Okay. All right. So if you guys have any other questions,
We know where you're at.
yeah, you can hunt me down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sounds like to me she understands pretty much everything about
For
the job she's got.
For sure, yeah.
For now,
Mm-hmm.
Now, we had some inmates down in Woodson County. They're $40 an hour. Inmates at Lawrence that one was 55, and that juvenile was up north. I'm not sure what jail now. 150 a day.
150 a day.
4,500 hours, 30 days.
Yeah.
at that rate, that gets to be a huge expense, you know, that much per day.
Anybody else need to go to the bathroom? We want to take a 10-minute break?
That'd be fine, whatever.
Or we should probably just get out and go to the bathroom.
I think you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna take a 10-minute break?
Person needs to go to the restroom, go to the restroom.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and shut that off.
We want to take a 10-minute break and shut it off?
Come back at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back and then your own business. All right, we're back from our break. Wade, do you have any round table other than what you put on us?
No, I think, I was contacted by, Ryan from River City. He said that they'll be done with the parking project by the end of the week, and wanted to know if I wanted to do a walkthrough. I said, well, I can do a walkthrough, but I think the board is the one who needs to do the walkthrough. It just happened to be that, their River City is gonna be here, or maybe Goldberg too, I don't know who, but to talk about the 75% plans that are done. So I suggested we contact Warren and Joe to see if that could be done at the same time, because you could take a break, walk out, or not a break, I don't know what it would be, but go walk the parking lot so that you have a visual, if you see anything you like, don't like, something that needs to be changed, then that's the time to do it. So that's what was done. In the intervening time period, I was in a meeting, and Ryan tracked me down and said, for the grass and landscaping side of things, they had planned on doing hydro seeding at the very end. They're gonna do the hydro seeding down to the north, but around the courthouse, the issue is the sprinkler system. So behind the scenes, the sprinkler system, there have been quotes being generated to deal with the sprinkler system, because the project sort of dismantled the sprinkler system that was there, and some of the quotes that were provided to me, I thought were
Astronomical.
problematic. So I I asked Barb to get other quotes if available. So that's sort of working behind the scenes, but why the hydro seeding's an issue is if they do the hydro seeding now, then all that would mean is if the sprinkler system is put in, it gets torn up and then it doesn't, you're wasting the hydro seeding. So I think from what the conversation I had with Ryan was, Kilo will have to come back in the fall and deal with potentially dealing with the hydro seeding and seeding to the north. And if the hydro seeding around the courthouse can be put off until a decision is made on the sprinkler system, that makes the most sense. So decision had to be made. That was something that I recommended and then said I'd bring up with the board. So that's, I think, the direction they're going. But if you want to override that, if you think going ahead and doing the hydro seeding now needs to be done, I think that decision can be made. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I just think it's a waste to do it right now.
I'm wondering if they come up with a deduction to not do that part, and because we're gonna be doing some sort of landscaping ourselves around those windows and the window wells, and somewhat of a short retaining wall, if you will, that we spoke about before I left.
And that part, I don't know.
And then include, have whomever does that part of it, does tilling and seeding be included? I don't know. Suggestion only, not a request, but a thought.
Yeah,
Right.
that would make sense, Tom. So you're talking about raising those window wells a little bit.
Yeah, I came up with an idea of my own, I guess, on my own. I'm not an engineer. I do know those landscape blocks they use, and it don't really matter what size they are, they dig a trench, if you will, and they place clean rock, forced rock in that trench at a level starting playing field, if you will, and start laying their blocks. So basically, that's all that is out there. The water equipment guys backfilled inlet, just clean rock from top to bottom, so a person for landscaping purposes, my thoughts are that they could just excavate that down to the level that they need to start placing whatever type of landscaping we choose, blocks, and then there's a certain elevation need to be at, and then create the window wells at the same time to keep the rock, because you're gonna wanna fill that in with some decorative rock on top of the clean rock. But I think Barb was gonna call DC Solutions to make sure that the landscaping rock didn't void any sort of warranty that was handed down. Am I correct with that statement, Wade?
That's right.
And then, so I came up kind of as a thought or design on my own. What I thought would be nice, and I could show you all plenty, I guess, but.
Sounds very reasonable, yeah, makes sense.
But with that being said, we're gonna bring in some dirt to get positive drainage away from those timber blocks, if you will, out to the sidewalk, which then in turn goes to the street, so.
And that'd help us anyhow.
It should help immensely.
Yeah. Good, you would think.
If you look on this east side, the ground still is just diving to that one corner.
That's the way
If we find a elevation you wanna stay at, put your landscaping in, and then bring dirt up to those blocks on the outer perimeter, positive drainage away, which in turn sounds like we need new irrigation sprinkler system anyway, so.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any point doing anything at this point, I wouldn't think.
I'm glad everybody agreed to go with the sidewalk from the beginning around the courthouse. I think
That looks really nice.
that was a plus.
It needed to be done that way, so.
It looks nice.
Take some of the trip hazards away too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Did a really nice job.
Kellogg's the one that top contractors I know of.
They do a good job.
So with that in mind, then Monday will probably be the time to bring it up again, but where are people going to, the parking situation? And once, my understanding is, talking to the sheriff, once River City brings in their buildings and has everything set up, it will consume the entire parking lot out back. So, one, where do all the fleet vehicles need to be? And I think Ryan and Sheriff will probably need to have this conversation. If I remember right, Ryan has agreed to have somewhere over where Road and Bridge is as a laydown yard for some things, because there's gonna have to be a laydown yard for the materials, especially if they're gonna have the construction part of the parking lot, they're gonna have their, what do they call those, the portable offices,
Job site trailer.
job site trailers, and then the materials are gonna have to go somewhere. So parking is gonna be something that will have to be thought out in advance so that employees know where they should be parking and then they don't consume the public parking. Obviously, the new parking lot is one of the first places, but there's gonna be all the surrounding angled parking that people may wanna take advantage of. And some of that probably is, in my opinion, fair game. Some of it probably needs to be left open for the public who do business in the courthouse. And then where do fleet vehicles sit in the meantime? I don't have a good idea for that, other than it may be an inconvenience for a period of time, but we're gonna have to work through it as the jail project launches. So just some food for thought when that happens.
Well, I don't know why the fleet vehicles couldn't go down the Road and Bridge, or the annex might not have enough room, or get the parking.
Across the street from Methodist Church,
Yeah.
that whole west side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just walking Farmers.
I'd say west side of Methodist Church would probably be the good place for it.
As far as employee parking, I'd suggest that we just, if they use the north parking lot, see how that goes, any overflow from that could have, there should be ample, it's 40-some over there,
There's
right?
45 spots over there.
I haven't counted these, but.
I haven't counted any of the others, but there's 45. But there's 8 or 9 spots here, right south there's 8 or 9. And before this was all done, I think there's only 6 spots in the whole thing.
Yeah,
So the employees could park over there and over to the east here, where some of them do anyway. And then on the east side down here, there's probably 10 spots there. I haven't counted them. I think there'll be plenty of room for the employees. And
Still is.
if you leave all this side here for customers, but
that's what I'm suggesting, or thinking, anyway.
Yeah.
I haven't counted all the spots,
As well as
but
the north.
there's 100 plus.
As well as the north side over there.
Yeah, got it right out here too.
Yeah, on the north side of it, I don't think it's any further than the west side here. It might be just a hair more further north.
Well, all this new parking down here.
Angle parking, yeah, all the angle parking right
Yeah,
here. for the
there's a
building.
lot of,
Well, that's, I would say, any parking on, I don't know how else to describe it other than.
Inside. Courthouse side,
Courthouse side would be for
business,
citizens.
Yeah.
Everything outside of that could be employee.
free for all.
Yeah. That would leave plenty of room, I would think.
Oh, God.
For parking down here.
so in front of the elementary school, there's probably 15, 16 down there. 3 different locations.
But I don't know how much of that the school will have to utilize during construction.
Yeah,
That's what
during
that's-
construction, it's probably,
Yeah, but we have to keep in mind, once construction is done, there'll be more angle parking being done out in between.
In front of the old parking lot.
Yes, correct. So there'll be some more added there at the end of the project, tail end. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. Sounds feasible.
Everything on the courthouse side is
Customer.
public customer, how you wanna word it. Everything outside of that's first come, first served, I guess. It just stints on write your name.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even now, I ain't even gonna go about, designated parking,
Yeah, that was supposed to be funny.
It was. It was.
But
Somebody
no,
else
I
thinks
think
it's a great
once
idea.
the jail's done, however that works out and everything, and with this parking that we've done,
I think we
I wanted to
do
look,
it.
my thoughts was, you want it to look nice and neat, and I believe once we get the landscaping done, it will be.
Yeah.
Don, do you have any roundtable?
oh, I'm fine.
Wade,
No, sir.
Tom?
Mine was the part about the landscaping, again, Monday we can brief on it after the meeting or something, but everybody's thoughts could be utilized to, I don't know if Barb's contacted anybody?
She's called a number of different people. I've been trying to help her, apparently having sprinkler people. I think the one the county's been using is out of Emporia, just trying to get an idea of what others would quote and then if they'd service it. And we're still working on that.
Is it for me?
Angie, you got roundtable?
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you, I had election training this morning, as we're gonna have an election next Tuesday, up in the north end of the county for city school, or for school district, I'm sorry. Anyway, in saying that, I need to bring the white trailer, my election trailer up to the courthouse. So I was wondering if the white truck is going to be available for me to borrow tomorrow to get it up here, and then, Monday to deliver machines and Wednesday to pick them up. So,
I assume that's what you need.
I mean, otherwise I can try to use a different vehicle, I don't know. I'm just
You just got one location to set them up this year,
two,
this time?
Lebo and Waverly, yeah.
Oh, Lebo, yeah, okay.
We got city mayor though, too.
That won't be till November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the city, or the school district at 243 ended up having an extra person file, which caused us to have a primary, so.
I see.
They changed the rules here a few years ago that if you had 3 or fewer, you didn't have to have a primary, which cut out a lot of elections because sometimes you're having a single election somewhere where you're just having one person on the ballot. So that kind of helped, with all the extra work and stuff, and then really giving people the opportunity to vote for all the races in their area. But now, like I said, in this case, we do have 4 people, I think, filed for 243 school district, which caused us to have a primary, so.
Yeah.
But I can wait until after tomorrow afternoon, late, to go get the trailer. I just need to do it before the landfill closes, and then Monday, I probably won't have to use it till maybe close to lunchtime or something, because we don't have that many machines we're setting up, so.
I just sign the truck out and get it spoken for.
Yeah.
Lock it down.
I guess whenever Wade, if I can get a key.
That one Barb has the key to.
Yep.
And that's all I had
Okay.
on Monday.
Nobody has anything else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. We will adjourn at 10:38. Monday morning. So Monday morning?
So it's only one basket?
There were two, did you not get all of it?
Oh, she already hauled it off.
Okay.
Yeah.